Welcome back for another Book Talk video. Today, it's Tuber Tuesday, and I'm doing my February 2021 TBR. What books will I read for the month? Well, let's take a look. They seem to be somewhat on the thick side, at least maybe half of them. The other half, a little bit shorter. If you saw my January TBR, then you already know what several of these are. Here we go. We've got the Collapsing Empire series by John Scalzi. All three books. The Far Empty by J. Todd Scott, The Secret Place by Tana French, and Stephen King's If It Bleeds, which is really a collection of 4 shorter stories. For the Collapsing Empire, I do wish that the person selling me the used copy of the first book online would have said that it was a library book, because I have that ugly sticker on it. If anybody knows how to get rid of those stickers without damaging the book, please let me know. I'm really looking forward to reading this series, though. I've read John Scalzi's books, the Old Man's War series, all 6 of them. Wonderful science fiction. Though I will say Red Shirts kind of let me down. I was not a huge fan. It's very different from what John Scalzi normally writes, so I'll excuse him for that. For this series, it is supposedly set up to where human beings have been using this faster than light travel that depends on something called the flow, but they can't control it, and apparently the flow is moving in space. And so part of the story is based on the concept that these characters have got to figure out what to do with their empire in space when their major way of traveling through space is changing and going to cut off planets. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out. Such beautiful covers for this series. I love the spaceships on them. I love that it is consistent artwork, and they definitely look like science fiction covers. I love the big bold text and the consistency with them. The other books I'm reading this month are mystery, suspense, horror books, and I also bought them somewhat for the covers. That J. Todd Scott book, I have to admit, I saw the cover and was like, man, I've got to buy that. The Tana French book as well. I know it's trope to have those windows on the covers of some mystery books, but I like it. That gun is such a great design from J. Todd Scott. I didn't even know what the book was about, honestly. I didn't bother reading the blurb online. I just thought, that's such an awesome book. I'd love to have that cover in my collection. Though now that I have it, I realize that it's set up as sort of a western and that it's on the Texas border. It's written by an author who was a federal agent who apparently has a great understanding of this sort of stuff. I'm expecting it to be a realistic mystery or suspense kind of book. Though I don't know. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It is a debut novel by the author, though I think a lot of people like this author from what I've seen online. Alright, Tana French's book, The Secret Place, looks like it's a fascinating mystery with a lot of intrigue, with different characters who have different motives as they're brought into this situation. It seems like maybe it's the kind of story where there are going to be people pointing the finger at other people, but I'm not sure. It's about a boarding school with girls who are able to post anonymous stuff, and there's some, I don't know if it's a Mean Girls kind of thing, but the blurb talks about cruelty and how now they're reinvestigating a murder that has happened at some point in the past, and it involves some of the girls' fathers who I guess are detectives. Haven't read the book yet, so I don't know, but it looks like a good coming of age mystery kind of story. And then Stephen King's If It Bleeds. This book got 2nd place in the 2020 Goodreads horror category, so of course it's Stephen King. I've got high expectations. I like the fact that instead of reading one story, that this book has got 4 shorter stories in it, though the title story, If It Bleeds, is about 200 pages, I believe. The other stories, I think, are around 90 to 100 pages each, but I could be wrong. Okay, let's see. There's the table of contents. So the first story looks like it's about 88 pages, and then the next one is maybe 60 pages, and then we've got the 200 pages for If It Bleeds, and then you've got about 90 pages for the rat story. And a note from Stephen King at the end. That's great. Looking forward to that. And the blurb on the back of the book is about the story If It Bleeds. You know, journalism has that old saying, if it bleeds, then it leads. That's the concept behind it. When I went to put the books back up on my TBR shelf, I noticed a paperback book sitting there, Murder by the Book, which I bought because I like books that are about bookstores, and it has a nice cover as well with the bookstore. Though it's funny, in the last 2 months, I've gotten really spoiled reading a lot of books that are hardcover or audio books. It'll be funny for my eyes to adjust to reading a small paperback book, even though most of my life, all I've read are paperbacks. This looks like an interesting mystery, so I'm going to commit to the main 6 books, but if I have time, then I will read the 7th book. Though hopefully, I'm going to be writing more in February and reading less, so hopefully I won't have time to read the 7th book. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But there's my TBR, a nice collection of books, and I'm glad I've made a special TBR bookshelf at this point. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.